today I'm going to show you how to make a peach cobbler. Ingredients for my peach cobbler are very simple. We're going to have 2 cans of peaches in heavy syrup. We're going to need our pie crust, vanilla, cinnamon, nutmeg, brown sugar. Those are all the ingredients that you're going to need to go into this peach cobbler. To start off, I'm going to put my peaches in the pot over here, and we're going to cook them so we can get some of that syrup and get it nice and thick. And then we're going to put our pie crust down in here into our baking dish, and then we're going to pour it all into the baking dish after we get our pie crust in here, and it's going to be lip smacking. So just stay tuned. Give me 1 second. I'm going to show you how to get this going. Okay, so I'm back. And I put 1 can of my peaches in here, and here's the other can. Okay, so you got 2 cans of peaches. Okay, you're gonna have your heat on medium heat, not high, not low, like a medium heat. Once we get this going, we'll put a little bit of sugar in. So you're gonna need 1 cup of sugar, white sugar, 1 cup of brown sugar. So you're gonna put your white sugar in first, which I've already measured out. Okay. You say, that's a lot, but you know what? Peach cobbler is sweet. You can adjust it to your taste, but my recipe called for 1 cup. So that's what I'm gonna put in here. So I'm gonna put about half of that in there, okay? Then we're going to pour the other half in there. I'm going to let that dissolve. We're not trying to cook the peaches. We're just trying to get the mixture warm. You don't want to cook it. You don't want your peaches to get like mushy, because they've already, they're canned peaches, so you're not like a fresh peach. So just get the mixture warm. Then next, we're going to add in our 1 cup of light brown sugar. So we're going to put that in there. Okay. Put half. Get that all mixed in, and we're going to put the other half in there. Okay. Don't worry about the lumps, they will dissolve in the juice. So from this point, now we're going to put in our spices. So we're going to put in 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. Okay, so that's my cinnamon, 1 teaspoon. Okay. One teaspoon of nutmeg. Okay. Now we're going to mix that down in there. I think P. Diddy gonna need this where he going. His name might be Peaches when he get done. When he get done, his name might be Peaches, okay? Okay, so this is how your mixture should look. And then to this, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And there's our vanilla. And we're just gonna let this warm. And while this is warming, I'm gonna show you how to roll out the pie crust that we're gonna put into our baking dish. Okay, so the next step that we're gonna do is, I like my juice and my peach cobbler or the liquid to be a little bit thick. It's kind of thin right now, so when you dip into it, it's gonna kind of be all over. So I put 1 tablespoon of cornstarch in this little ramekin with a little bit of water, and I'm gonna pour this in here, and it's gonna thicken that up a little bit, so that when I pour it in, it'll have a nice consistency. It won't be loose and juicy. So you're gonna let this get a little warm, and you'll see it'll start to thicken up. Okay, so this is how your mixture should look. Give us a few minutes and let it get hot, and then it'll start to bubble, and then it'll thicken. So once we get this thickened, we're gonna let this cool off for a few minutes, and I'm gonna show you how to roll out your pie crust that's gonna go into your baking dish. So stick with me. So I'm back. So now we're at the part where we're going to put our pie crust into our baking dish. So I'm gonna have a top and a bottom crust. So I'm gonna spray a little bit of this Pam for baking so that my crust doesn't stick to the bottom. Okay, just a little bit. And then this is a refrigerated pie crust because I am not a pie crust maker. That's something that I need to work on, and I admit it. I don't know how to make pie crust. I'm like my mom, so I'm gonna learn, teach myself how to make a pie crust, a real pie crust. But this is one out of the refrigerated section. So now you're gonna take your pie crust and you're going to put it in your baking dish like this. Okay. You want to spread it out. Okay. Get any holes, you want to fill them in. Okay. Now, see how this part here is overlapping? We're going to take that off because I don't want that on there. Okay, I'm going to stick that down inside of my pie crust and fill in my holes. So wherever you see holes at, that's where you're going to fill in. You just want it to fit down in there, okay? Now, sidebar, I let my dough sit out for a few minutes, but it works better if it's cold. That way you can kind of work with it a little bit easier. When you let it sit out, it's kind of hard to work with. So, but what you want to do is just kind of pat it down in there. But you don't want no holes in it, okay? So this is your bottom, okay? And now we're going to take our peaches. Our peach mixture right over into that, okay? You can smell all that cinnamon and nutmeg and vanilla. It smells really, really good. Peaches. So in this peach cobbler, I use 2 cans. I use the bigger cans. If you want to use the small cans, you can do that, but I use the big cans. Roll it, make it all nice and pretty where they like cut, make a lattice top. I'm not doing all of that. We're just gonna put the pie crust on top. Make sure you Poke some holes in it so the air can vent. Okay, I'm gonna put that right over the top. Okay. Take out some of that. So I put my crust on top. I did take a little butter knife and I cut some little slits so you can let the steam come out of it. We're gonna put this in the oven and let it bake on 350 degrees for 1 hour. It should be golden brown when you take it out. Don't let it stay in there too long. You don't want it to burn up. So now we're gonna get ready to put it in the oven. So here's our peach cobbler. Okay, and put this in the oven. All right. And we're going to set our cook time for 1 hour. Okay, so our peach cobbler is in the oven. And we're going to come back in 1 hour. We're going to see what it looks like. So hang tight. We're going to have some delicious peach cobbler. Okay, our peach cobbler is done and it is out of the oven. It's golden brown. I want you guys to take a look at that and tell me you don't want some of that with some ice cream. So this is our peach cobbler done the Soulful Lisa Jackson way. As always, like and subscribe. Keep watching the videos. Have a beautiful evening. Take care.